Hello, my name is Dave Walker and I'm a coach and storyteller. And today I'm wearing my storyteller hat. And I'm excited to share with you that I have published my first book. So, after 2.5 years of being a coach and storyteller, this is the first time that I'm telling my story through a book. It's called Mondays Don't Have to Suck: How Small Changes Can Make a Huge Difference. So if you bear with me, I will share with you what made Mondays suck for me a little bit later on. But first, I wanted to cover off two questions with you. The first is, who should be reading this book? What's in it for you? What's the benefit of reading the book? So that's the first question I wanted to cover off. And then the other one is, what makes my book any different than some of the other books that are out there on change? I talked about how small changes can make a huge difference. It is a book on change. Google books on change and you're going to get a million of them. I wouldn't be surprised if you get over a billion of them. So what makes this one any more different? So those are the two questions I'd like to cover off with, as well as let you know why Mondays suck so bad for me, and why they don't have to anymore. So first things first. So who can benefit from my book? So this is my hypothesis. You'll have to buy the book and read it and let me know if I'm correct. That's how we'll test it out. My book is for people who, they're at a point right now where they're kind of questioning their lives. They're not sure, this is not where I want to be. They're getting up one morning, they'll think of themselves, this isn't the life that I want to be leading, or should be leading, or deserve to be leading. Maybe they're looking in the mirror and they're seeing that looking back at them. They're not sure what that might look like. They're not sure what that should look like. They're not sure what that could look like. Maybe they have an idea, but they're not sure how to move forward. Maybe it's for somebody who's started moving forward, but they just keep, abandoning ship along the way, and not able to keep moving forward. So that's who I think will benefit from reading my book. What makes it different than the other ones? Again, there's tons of change books and programs and different things out there, and you see them all over the place. And try this one out. 6 weeks away from making that change in your life, or one session a week for the next 3 months, and you're going to make that big change. How many of us on New Year's Eve make those resolutions that come Valentine's Day? We haven't arrived yet. They're no longer. We've given up. So change is hard. My favorite cartoon in the book is, who wants change? Everybody puts up their hand. And then who wants to change? And everybody's kind of looking down. So change, and I hate to break this to you, there is no quick fix. Change takes time, and it takes energy, and it takes effort to build the momentum, to make the change, to create the habits that allow it to get that. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And I think a lot of people are looking for that fast change, and then all of a sudden they give up because they haven't got there yet. So if there's nothing that you're not going to take away from my book, it's the importance of hanging in there, those small changes. I had lunch with a friend of mine who read my book and gave me some feedback. I'm going to share that with you. I like the way she summarized it. This is just part of it. And thank you, Nancy, for the feedback. She says, "Your book is the antidote. Small incremental steps become the building blocks for more change. It works just as well in making negative changes as well as positive ones." So in my book, I'm going to share a couple of stories with you. One story is about an unintentional change that I made in my life. I went through a transformation. I went through a couple transformations, and both of them were unintentional. I went through a transformation where I ended up one small step at a time, one decision at a time, over many years, ending up in my comfort zone, which became my nasty zone. And it was so nasty, I just couldn't get out of there. I was stuck. So for me, being stuck rhymes with Mondays suck. So I thought it was a career-related place that I was stuck in and not in the right spot. It was broader than that. I didn't realize it. And what happened is, I associated Mondays with work, and I just started avoiding Mondays. And the best way to do that was just to try and avoid even thinking of them. So it was, starting to have a couple beers on Sunday, Then it was having a couple beers on Saturday because Mondays were coming up. It was Wednesday night starting to have a couple bottles of wine because Monday was coming up. It meant just ignoring them by reading the newspaper, watching movies, not talking to anybody who would remind me about it. I completely isolated myself. I used alcohol to actually function. So as a functioning alcohol, I was socially isolated except for my kids. I started becoming depressed. I sank into a clinical depression without even realizing it. And you can imagine how much weight I was gaining. My comfort food was a big part of my comfort zone. So I became obese. I was obese or overweight almost 15 years of my life. So that's the first part of my book of how I got there. And again, my hypothesis is a lot of you are going to see certain things in there. Although this is about me, it's about my journey, my situation. I think my hypothesis is you're going to see a lot of that in yourselves as well. Because I've seen that. I've talked to people and they're also going through this as well. That's the first part of the book. The second half of my book, which is a much more pleasant journey, is about making that change. When I finally did decide that I just could not move forward with this, how did I start making the small changes to move forward? And how did I gain the momentum, and what happened, and what got me to the place right now where, guess what? Mondays aren't sucking anymore. They don't have to suck. And I'm going to turn 54 pretty soon. I started making that change about 5 or 6 years ago. Now, it took time. But where I have actually ended up, I've ended up on an unintentional journey. Where I am right now, I never would have thought that I am now. It was just small changes that just started to actually create momentum, start creating this foundation under me. And here I am right now, looking forward to Mondays and looking forward to other days. There's still, Mondays can suck sometimes, and they do, but for the most part, they don't. So here's hoping that I can help you as well move forward in your life one small bit at a time, one positive decision, one positive step. And sometimes it's 2 steps back and 1 step forward, but to help you go in there and make a better life for yourself. Again, as I say, my hypothesis is that a lot of what was in the book, and I read a lot of self-help books, I talked to a lot of people, I tried out a lot of things in there. My hypothesis is a lot of the things that I tried, if you try some on, that they will fit and they will help you out as well. Only way to test that is for you to get the book, try them out, and share with me some of the things that you did as well. And that will allow me to share those with other people. And I'm in the business of sharing. I'm in the business of caring. I'm in the business of helping people make themselves better off. So I would love to have other materials so that Coach Dave and Storyteller Dave can help other people out. And here's helping that by buying my book, by reading my book, and by trying this out. And again, 1 step at a time. Remember, and try making it easier on yourself. It's hard at times, so making it easier is going to help you out. Here's wishing you a pleasant journey. Cheers. Enjoy the book. Enjoy your life journey. And here's hoping you make the changes that you want to make. In the end, it's you who's up. It's up to you. I'm hoping that you do it, but it's up to you. Cheers.